You're listening to the Appraisal Buzzcast, and I'm Hal Humphreys, your host, and I am absolutely tickled to be talking to you today. We're getting ready for the ACTS Conference and Trade Show out in San Antonio, Texas, coming up April 4th through the 9th for the entire event. If you're just coming for the conference, it's April 6th through the 8th. And this year, as you know, we're hosting the conference in San Antonio, Texas. So, just for my Texas friends, I'll be wearing the cowboy hat while I'm out there. Now, I get accused of being all hat and no cattle all the time, but I'm going to wear the hat while I'm out there. Join us in San Antonio, April 6th through 8th for the conference. If you want to be there for the pre-conference stuff, it starts on the 4th. We are so thrilled to have you there. We've got some things we want to show you about the conference coming up when we get back from the break. Jim Morrison is going to join me, and we're going to talk about some pretty entertaining things that are coming up at the ACTS conference in San Antonio, Texas. Stick around, learn more.
Are you ready to take your career in real estate appraisal to the next level? Join the Appraisal Institute, your go-to source for expert insights, industry trends, and the latest updates from the world of valuation. Whether you're an experienced appraiser or just starting out, they bring you industry resources, classes, and all the knowledge you need to stay ahead. Join today and be part of a community that's shaping the future of the appraisal profession. Visit appraisalinstitute.org to learn more and become a member. You're listening to the Appraisal Buzzcast with your host, Hal Humphreys.
Welcome back, everyone. As you heard Hal say, we are getting ready for ACTS. It's March. We're getting ready for the March Madness because it's going to be down at the same time as ACTS. So let me bring in Hal, and we're going to talk all about March Madness, ACTS, everything going on in San Antonio in April. Hey, Hal, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Jim, how are you today?
We're doing a little different. I got my Maryland basketball shirt on. We're talking about March Madness and everything that's going on with that. But something that's causing a lot of madness is the upcoming UAD and how that's changing for appraisers.
Yes, there is a lot of discussion in the appraisal space about Uniform Appraisal Data Set version 3.6. There are a lot of changes for us as appraisers in dealing with the UAD. So we've got some things coming up at ACTS that will help appraisers dealing with the UAD changes. Not the least of which is we're going to be offering the Appraiser's Guide to the UAD. That's a course put together by Fannie Mae. It'll be taught by Brian Reynolds, and I'm pretty excited about that. But we've also got some exciting things coming up with software providers and being ready for the UAD. Jim, why don't you tell us what we're looking at there?
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of the change. I know we're seeing on social media, like appraisers haven't seen what it's going to look like. They're seeing like the PDFs of this is what to expect. Well, our software providers that are at ACTS that are sponsoring are actually doing demos on site of how their software is going to work with the new UAD 3.6. So you can go to your current software provider, see how they're doing it, get a jump start on that. Or, as this change is coming, you can look at what some of the other software providers are doing and say, hey, maybe since I have to change and learn something new anyways, maybe I'll change my whole software. So that's going to be up to you. You're going to get to see everything in action. We got 6 or 7 sponsors that are showing their demo of how they're handling the new UAD for appraisers. So it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, and not only are we going to have software providers there to show their product and how it will help appraisers be prepared for the new UAD that goes into limited production later this year, full acceptance next year, and mandatory by the end of next year. This is a colossal change for appraisers. So what are some other things we have going on where appraisers can learn how to use these new tools?
Yeah, and I will say, I didn't mention it, that is completely free. It's not an add-on. You can, if you're coming to the conference, you can jump in on those and check those out. We are doing a lot to get us out of the conference space. We're in beautiful Texas. We're going out. We're checking it out. I mean, it's April. Hopefully, it won't be too hot already. But we got a lot of really cool things that we're doing for the first time at AXE. The first is we're doing a new construction field trip on Sunday where we're taking people out who want to learn how to specifically appraise new construction. We're partnering with Pulte Homes. We're getting to see new construction in different levels of being complete. We also are partnering with Chase. Chase is going to be helping us go through that. And CoreLogic is going to be showing us some scan to sketch on some of the finished homes, which will be really cool. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that and get to learn how the mobile inspection app works.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I'm the most excited about personally is the field trip. And this field trip is designed specifically for trainees to get their hands on a product, be able to walk around homes in various states of construction. It's a chance for them to learn how to input the data as they're doing their property observation. It's a chance for them to learn how to use the software. The scan to sketch bit, here's the thing about scan to sketch. It is so painfully easy to use that that part's not going to take people long to get their head around. But there's a lot of functionality in the mobile app to help appraisers get ready for the new UAD. Getting prepared for the way the new UAD is going to work includes learning how to use mobile apps with your appraisal software. And this is an opportunity to that. So the field trip is designed for trainees, but I know we've had some appraisers already sign up because they want to learn how to switch from a clipboard and paper and a pen to using the iPad in the most efficient way. So I'm pretty excited about that. And Jim, not only are we getting out of the conference space for the field trip, but we've got a wine tour on Saturday.
Yeah, we got a couple things. Before we move off the field trip, though, I do want to say something. We've already filled up the first bus. Teresa's ordering another bus because we do have so many appraisers that may not be trainees, but they're used to doing it the clipboard way, and they need to learn how to do it on the mobile inspection. So we've added another bus. If anybody wants to add that, it's going to be a lot of fun. But speaking of fun, yes, on Saturday night, we've got a wine tour, Fredericksburg. That's going to be a blast. We have the Taste of Texas Monday night. If you want to country line dance, that's not really my thing. Hal, with your cowboy hat, that might be your thing, but that's going to be going on the same night that the finals for March Madness is going on. It's going to be wild Monday night. There's going to be so much going on. There's going to be TVs at the Taste of Texas streaming that game. Then if you're staying and you're not burnt out yet and you just want to relax and recuperate, we have a charity golf tournament going on. It's the Axe Scramble. That's going on at the Quarry Golf on April 9th. So you can sign up for that. It's going to be more about having fun than skill. So you don't have to say, like, I'm a scratch golfer. It's a scramble. We'll take the best shot from your group. We've got a lot of fun things like we have a golf cannon sponsored by GoSource where you're going to get to shoot your golf ball instead of taking the shots. And it'll go 400 yards. It'll be a whole blast. So we want to make sure that you have fun when you come down to Texas. There's a lot of conference, a lot of learning that you need to do, but we're also going to have a ton of fun.
Yeah, and here's the thing about the golf tournament. It is a post-conference event. It is the day after we finish up the AXE conference. Here's the thing about the golf tournament. And look, I'm not a duffer myself. I grew up playing golf. My father was an avid golfer. It's not my personal favorite thing to do, but my dad explained to me years ago, you don't play golf necessarily for the golf. You play golf for the people you meet while you're playing golf. This is a great opportunity to do some networking, spend some time with fellow appraisers from around the country, doing something fun. We're not going to take it too seriously. Of course, there will be somebody there that's going to be keeping score and bragging about how their score is lower than the next guy's. That's going to happen. It's going to be fun. But look, if you want to stick around after the conference for a day of networking, camaraderie, that kind of thing, the golf tournament is going to be a great way to do that.
Yeah, and there's going to be prizes and drinks and all that, so it'll be a good time.
Yeah. Well, we have one other thing that I really want to talk about, Jim, and that is a thing that's going to help people at the conference participate, be involved in the conference, interact with each other, network, those kind of things. What am I talking about, Jim?
All right, so we're gonna do this live. If you aren't watching it on YouTube, you're gonna want to watch it on YouTube. We're gonna walk through. We have a new networking app that we have for Axe. This will allow you to interact with people you meet at the show, get their contact information, set up meetings, set up communication with them, and have fun. There's a lot of fun networking tools in it. So rather than me tell you about it, let me show you. Let me bring it up and make sure that it's working. And bear with me as we do this. How are you seeing that on the screen?
I certainly am. So there's one app showing on that screen, and it says Appraisal Buzz. Is that right?
Appraisal Hive. So this is a
Appraisal.
Appraisal Hive, a networking event app for appraisers. That's my youngest daughter. She's a handful. But let me bring up the app. It's sponsored by Quantarium. We're really excited about it. So I've already logged in. When you first come in, you're going to have to put in your email address that you registered with, and they'll send you a code to your email to make sure that you're supposed to be part of the app. This keeps anybody from just downloading the app and joining. So you have to be part of it. Then you're going to come in here. You're going to set up the app. You can add a picture, choose it from your gallery, set up your profile, all that. You're going to be able to see who the speakers are, what they're talking about. There's the schedules to make sure that you're at the right place at the right time. There's the wine tour. I definitely want to bookmark that so that I go to that. On Wednesday, I'm going to definitely bookmark that so that I can go to the golf. So you can go through and make sure that you're bookmarking what you want to go to so that it's showing up in the app for you and sending you notifications so you don't miss anything. You can check out all the sponsors that are going to be there at Axe and go through and see the exhibitors that'll be there that have everything going on. You'll be able to take the time to go to the demos for the software. And the best part about this is the networking, the social. So there's obviously, I guess, Melinda, Joanne, people are already getting in here who are registered. They're already in the app. It was just released yesterday. We already have people in here going through it, which is awesome. So this will be a good way to make yourself be known, see some of the other people that are coming to the conference, and even set up meetings ahead of time.
That's pretty awesome. Now, look, here at Appraisal Buzz, we have built this app to support the conferences, and this is the Acts version of the conference app. Look, if you're at the conference and you're wondering, hey, when does this next thing happen? Where's the thing? The Taste of Texas. What time is it? Where is it? All of this information is right there on the app for you. If you're watching a speaker present and you want to read their bio, it's right there in the app. If you meet someone at the conference, you can share contacts there at the conference and connect with people directly at the conference. Look, I think this is this a game-changing thing for the world? No. Is it a really fun, interesting, cool way to experience the conference? Yes, it is. And I cannot wait for the folks coming to the conference to download the app, start interacting. And Jim, if I'm not wrong, isn't there a points system where people can kind of gamify this app?
Absolutely. So on your screen right now, you're seeing my QR code. You're going to be able to scan other people's QR codes, get their information, and download all that to your contacts. So they have to allow it. You can't just, hijack people's QR codes. But once you meet them and say, hey, I want your contact information, you'll be able to do that. There is a gamification part of it where it shows you what you need to do to get points. And then once you do, who the leaders are. Joanne is running away with it already. I mean, this thing just came out a couple days ago, and she's already got 1,700 points. But every single thing you do gets you points, whether you're contacting people, whether you're sharing images on the socials, all that stuff gets you points. And we're going to have prizes throughout the conference as well for people that are participating in it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Hey, Jim, one of the things that I'm just, I know we're not supposed to talk about this too much, but for the folks that download the app and are playing to get points, we do have some Easter eggs hidden in there. And I'm just going to tease you a little bit. If you come up and shake my hand, introduce yourself, and scan my QR code in the app, there's an Easter egg hidden there. You'll get some extra points for that. And there's a couple of things like that built into the app. Look, we demoed this last year at Valuation Expo, and I mean, people really got into trying to win the points game and had a lot of fun with it. Jim, do you remember who won the points game
That
at
was
Val Expo?
Melinda Griffin. Yeah, she was a crazy lady on it, but it turned out great for her. She won $100. It was a lot of fun, and it was really competitive for anybody that has the competitive juices. Like finding those Easter eggs, getting to go through the whole thing. It's great.
Yeah. So, hey, Jim, real quick before we go to the commercial break, which we do need to acknowledge our sponsors for the Appraisal Buzzcast. Um, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, thank you. We appreciate it. Be sure and go to YouTube and check out the video so you can see how the app works. And if you're registered for Axe already, go ahead and download the app. Get posting on it, meeting people through the app. It's a great thing to do. But now, let's hear a word from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
LIA Administrators and Insurance Services, serving valuation professionals since 1978. We provide E&O insurance with a commitment to superior customer service, outstanding liability education, and unmatched claim defense. Explore our exclusive appraiser liability education by Peter Christensen and cost-effective seminars designed to foster your growth. Our underwriters, with an average of 26 years of experience each, are dedicated to supporting appraisers. Visit liability.com to discover how LIA can safeguard your business.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the Appraisal Buzzcast. I'm Hal Humphreys, your host, and today it's just Jim Morrison and me talking about the ACTS conference out in San Antonio coming up in April. I am so thrilled about this show. I'm happy to be getting back into Texas. It's been a while since I've been out there. I used to do a lot of work out there in Texas. I got a lot of friends out there. I can't wait to be back in San Antonio, enjoying that beautiful spring Texas weather. And Jim mentioned earlier in the podcast, we're doing a wine tasting tour on Saturday night in Fredericksburg, Texas. If you've never been outside of San Antonio to some of the other hill country places, Fredericksburg is a really cool little town. It's a good place to go hang out. So, Jim, we don't have a guest on the podcast today, so I'm hoping we don't have an anonymous appraiser question that I have to try and wrestle with.
No, just because there's no guest today, we're not letting you off the hook. We do have an anonymous appraiser question for you. But I think this is a pretty good one. So this question is from someone who's trying to apply to the VA panel. They said, I know as part of applying for the VA appraiser panel, it requires a letter of recommendation from 2 appraisers. My issue is that I'm become self-employed after my supervisor trained me. How do I go about getting a second appraiser to write a letter for me?
Okay, that's actually a pretty fair question, and I understand where you're coming from with that. Couple things I would say. First of all, the VA panel is one of the best panels to be on as an appraiser. You know exactly what you're getting into, you know exactly what the requirements are, and they do, in fact, pay appraisers well for their time and their services, and they really do want to know your opinion of value. And that, for me as an appraiser, having a client that really wants to know what my opinion of value is, as opposed to just stuffing a file with a report, that's important. So you're relatively new to the business. You had a mentor. If they're willing to write a letter on your behalf to the VA, that's fantastic. The way you get that second letter written to the VA is you do some networking. You get out and meet some people. And, we've been talking this entire podcast about the ACTS show out in San Antonio, Texas. Come to the ACTS conference, meet some fellow appraisers. That's how you get that second letter of recommendation. I'm going to also throw this out there. We are currently working on a course designed to get appraisers ready to get onto the VA panel. The course is a 7-hour CE offering. It is Asynchronous, meaning you can take it at your own pace through our learning management system over at Appraisal Learning. And the course goes through exactly what the VA is looking for from appraisers. So if you take that class and get through that class and get a passing grade after you're done with the class, look, you will have had the opportunity to have some interaction with the instructor, which will be me. And if we have a nice long chat and you've gotten through the class, I would be happy to write a letter on your behalf. But I'm just going to say the quickest way to get that second recommendation letter for a VA panel application would be to come to a conference, meet other appraisers, and make a good impression on them. Jim, does that sound like a fair answer?
That is the number one way to do it. And it not only just for the VA, just for helping your business as a whole. There's going to be new clients for you. Getting out to see new people is the number one way to build your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Jim, do we have anything else we need to cover today?
No, we are going to put a link to register for ACTS. I will say, because March Madness is there, book your flights now if you're going to ACTS, because once they announce the teams in the bracket, those flights are going to all fill up. So book them right now. Like, stop what you're doing. Go book your flights for ACTS. Get on a flight. If you're doing Southwest like me, you now have to pay for bags, but whatever.
Yep. Book your flights, book your hotel, go ahead and register. The sooner you do it, the better. I can't wait to see you in San Antonio. Join us. Introduce yourself to me. Introduce yourself to Jim Morrison. We'd be tickled to meet you. Anything else we got to cover, Jim?
That's it. See you all in Texas.
All right. So in that case, for Jim Morrison, I'm Hal Humphreys, your host of the Appraisal Buzzcast, and that's your Appraisal Buzzcast for this week. We'll see you out in San Antonio.